see how far this championship went as far as behind the scenes and everything else. Now, it's mentioned that before Ric Flair started his legendary career, he was involved in a plane crash back in 1975. And before his legendary career could really take off and really begin, he was involved in a plane crash. So fortunately, he wasn't there. For a while, Ric Flair was out. It was 6 injured in this plane crash. 6 injured there. And he was one of 6 people injured. Because that's a picture of him. He was bigger. Now, what we're going to highlight mostly, Johnny Valentine, as mentioned earlier, was on this plane. Johnny Valentine was a former United States champion. But the thing is, he was a U.S. champion during the time of this plane crash. And it said that one of the reasons that plane crash happened, got where it's at, because he switched seats with Johnny Valentine, which I did not know. He switched seats with this man on the plane. And since he switched seats with him, that's what caused caused the whole plane crash. And he is the father of Abraham Valentine, as I mentioned earlier on Red Carpet Rain here on YouTube. But they said there was a big thing about switching seats. Flair had been seated in front of the plane, but he was vocal about his position. And Ric Flair asked Johnny Valentine to switch seats because Ric Flair was complaining about being in the front, But we will highlight more to that right now. Now, I said, out of this whole plane crash, it was Johnny Valentine who suffered the worst fate. He broke his back in the crash. A bone fracture wedged itself into the spinal column, forced his back to be reattached with a clamp. As a result, Johnny Valentine was paralyzed for life. His career came to a tragic end and never wrestled again. What I have highlighted here, like I said, he was the U.S. heavyweight champion and top star for Jim Crockett Promotions, scheduled to face then NWA World Champion Dory Funk Jr. of the famous Funk family, who is the brother of Terry Funk. The following week at the Greensboro Coliseum, considered one of the best workers in the country at the time, Valentine's injury and forced retirement was a devastating loss to the wrestling community. So Johnny Valentine was the United States champion during the time of this plane crash. But because of this unfortunate tragedy of this plane crash, he could not hold this championship anymore. Not only that, it ended his whole career. So it was sad to be not only a wrestler, but you're a champion. Who would have known that this is your last time ever holding on to a championship ever, because you were forced to retire from it. So this was very, very devastating. And I did not know that during this plane crash, the United States champion was on this plane during the time of the crash. Now, some people, I know the pilot, he was in a hospital, but he did not make it. He passed away a little bit after the crash happened. So pilot did not make it. I think he was only 25 years old at the time of the plane crash. But to hear what happened to Johnny Valentine is tragic. This is a very, very sad thing that happened. But like I said, they don't talk about this story. People that do know the story, we talk about Ric Flair. Of course, before he started his career, he had his surgery and everything else, changed everything. He went from being big to small, and he was able to recover. But this guy here, Johnny Valentine, he did not recover. And this was all over the newspapers at the time. Now, there was a tournament for the vacant United States Championship. Like it says here, Dory Funk Jr., he's supposed to face him. His brother, Terry Funk, he won that championship in a tournament final, and he defeated Paul Jones for it. So that's what happened with that. So that's just a sad, tragic thing that happened. Now, I mentioned this earlier on Red Carpet Ring, and I'm going to show it here again. This championship is known for having great designs and also spun off to other championships. And I will